The Glico Morinaga case, also known by its official designation Metropolitan Designated Case 114. Kaisatsuko Keikiju Shite Daiyoku Jongo Jiken, was a famous extortion case from 1984 to 1985 in Japan. Primarily directed at the Japanese industrial confectionaries Aozoki Glico and Morinaga, and currently remains unsolved. The entire case spans 17 months from the initial kidnapping of the president of Glico to the last known communication from the prime suspect, person or group known only as the Monster with 21 Faces. The Monster with 21 Faces was a name based on Edogawa Rampo's fictional villain The Fiend with 20 Faces, used as an alias by the group responsible for the blackmail letters in the Glico Morinaga case in Japan. In 1984, in March of 1984 at Kidnapping Rocked Osaka, masked men with guns dragged 42-year-old Katsuhisa Aozoki, president of the multi-million-dollar Aozoki Glico Confectionery Company, out of his bathtub. Here was a man whose name was a fixture in stores and vending machines across Japan. Glico candies are iconic. Pocky is just one of them. The leader of a company that in the ruins of post-war Japan had been an engine of revitalization, selling everything from dairy products to meat curries, coming to represent health and vitality to so many millions of Japanese. Now his wife and daughter, and even his mother in the house next door, were bound and gagged as gunmen forced a still-naked Aozoki into the car waiting outside. As Aozoki languished in a riverside Ibaraki warehouse, the kidnappers made their demands: 1 billion yen, almost 11 million in today's dollars, and 220 pounds of gold bullion, the largest ransom ever demanded in Japan. And the national obsession with the kidnapping only increased. In a country where only 27 kidnappings were reported in the previous year, a crime of this scale was practically unheard of. In 1983, the National Police Agency had solved 97% of all murders, earning them the admiration and envy of police forces the world over. The Monster with 21 Faces, as the Aozoki kidnappers styled themselves, ran rings around them. The Glico Morinaga case, as this string of blackmailings and extortion came to be known, marks the first time the MPA failed to even arrest a suspect. The Monster taunted the police, the press, and Glico's corporate offices, sending more than 100 letters over the course of a year and a half. This was salt in the wound of an embarrassed and frantic police force who had mobilized to lock down Osaka in the aftermath of Aozoki's kidnapping, setting up roadblock after roadblock without a trace of the Monster to show for it. A harrowing 65 hours after his kidnapping, Aozoki managed to escape. The ransom would go unpaid, which did not seem to matter at all to the gang, who called themselves the Monster with 21 Faces. Their goal was to upend the massive food companies that fed Japan, and their kidnapping of Katsui Aozoki was only the beginning. For decades children had been told that Glico products would make them healthy and keep them strong. The Monster would tell them differently. In a series of letters mailed to Osaka news organizations, in May came the first threat of cyanide-laced candy. Supermarket chains and retailers panicked after a nationwide product recall that cost millions. Glico's sales plummeted. They were forced to lay off thousands of workers. No traces of cyanide were ever found in a Glico product. The Monster laughed. The Monster with 21 Faces, it must be noted, has a fictional namesake, created by detective novelist Edogawa Rampo. Rampo's real name was Hiroi Taya. His choice of pseudonym a Japanization of Edgar Allan Poe. Rampo is considered the progenitor of modern detective fiction in Japan. In 1936 he published one of his most enduring stories about an shape-shifting thief antagonist, titled The Mystery Man with the 20 Faces. 20 faces were not enough for the Osaka extortion ring, who could outdo not only the evil masterminds of fiction, but the real-world police as well. In true Sherlockian arch-villain fashion, the monster with 21 faces continued to dispense hints, even telling the police which brand of typewriter they used to compose their letters. "It is going to be like treasure hunting," said the monster. This time, there really was cyanide in Morinaga candy, surfacing in stores from Tokyo to faraway Hokkaido. It wasn't hard to find. Each tainted candy was labeled "Danger, contains poison," a mailed promise. Next time, there would be no such labels. Chaos reigned. Chaos, in fact, seemed to be the goal. Stores began to boycott Morinaga products. The monster routinely demanded cash and never bothered to collect it. Marudeham and the House Food Corporation received their own letters, as did dozens of other food companies. Theories abound regarding the monster's identity. Fruitless interviews of around 125,000 suspects will get you a lot of theories. All manner of people, from Yakuza to disgruntled Glyco employees. From stock manipulators, there was money to be made in the drastic plunge of Morinaga stock, if one had been warned of it beforehand. To North Korean secret agents to Katsuhisa Izuki himself were considered and cleared, after ceasing its harassment of Glyco. The monster with 21 faces began targeting Morinaga, another confectionery company, and food companies Marudeham and House Food Corporation. With similar criminal campaigns, using the same alias, Morinaga responded on November 6 to the criminals by placing the missing persons advertisement in the Mainichi newspaper's morning edition. "Dear Jiro, bad friend disappeared. Come back. Warm meal is waiting. Mother Chiyoko." To letters from the monster with 21 faces was sent to House Foods on November 7th. Furthermore, Morinaga and Company was forced to reduce its current production by 90% that day due to the poisoning. Unable to capture the suspect believed to be the mastermind behind the monster with 21 faces, the police superintendent Yamamoto of Shiga Prefecture died by self-immolation in August 1985. 5 days after this event, on August 12, the monster sent its final message to the media. Yamamoto of Shiga Prefecture Police died. How stupid of him. We've got no friends or secret hiding place in Shiga. It's Yoshino or Shikata who should have died. What have they been doing for as long as 1 year and 5 months? Don't let bad guys like us get away with it. There are many more fools who want to copy us. Nokia Yamamoto died like a man. So we decided to give our condolence. We decided to forget about torturing food-making companies. If anyone blackmails any of the food-making companies, it's not us but someone copying us. We are bad guys. That means we've got more to do other than bullying companies. It's fun to lead a bad man's life. Monster with 21 faces. After this letter, the monster with 21 faces was not heard from again. The statute of limitation for the kidnapping of Katsuhisa Izuki, president of Glyco, ran out in June 1995, and the statute of limitation for the attempted poisonings ran out in February 2000. At one point, it was even estimated that over 1 million police officers had worked on the case in some capacity or another over the years, chasing down more than 28,000 tips and investigating nearly 125,000 persons of interest. However, no suspect was ever charged.